just out here on a Sunday morning driving around with my dog. Thought I'd drive around, clear my head some, take the Dodge out for a spin, my tow pig, aka the Silver Fox. Get the dog out of the house, he always likes going for rides. Brought a couple of my firearms with me. Gonna go up and see if the shooting range is open, or not necessarily open, but accessible more or less, because the snow can bury the road in. If anything else, I'll get to go up and see all the beautiful countryside up here in the Rocky Mountains. First, I gotta get out of town though. Good boy. What's up? Just hanging out on top of Kenosha Pass, taking a quick break. Gonna double back now, back to Pine Junction. Go down there and check out that shooting range I was mentioning. These mountains never get old. Be nice to be able to spend more time up here than I do, and hopefully I'll be able to change that here in the near future. This area here on top of Kenosha Pass, I've stopped here a few times as a kid with my dad. He used to drive a semi-truck Peterbilt up here. To Poncha Springs, Salida area. Go pick up cobblestone, bring it back down into Denver area for landscaping company years ago. I've driven through here pulling a gooseneck when I was doing hot shot in 2018 to early 2019 with this truck, this tow pig of mine, which this is a 2001 Dodge Ram 2500, has a 5.9 Cummins in it with the 5-speed. I bought this thing with 124,000 miles on it. Probably shouldn't have bought it but I've done a lot of work to it since then. New injection pump, put a fast on it, nothing crazy. I think it's like a 95 100 gallon per hour or something like that. New suspension all the way around pretty much, new leaf springs, new coil springs, new control arms up front, new drive shafts front and rear. Pretty solid truck overall, other than it's just stock for the most part. Engine stock, there's no programmer or nothing on it. Want to change that here in the near future, make this a better tow pig. I've been watching some guys out of Utah called Power Proven Diesel, and they have a setup for these second gens that puts a compound turbo on it, and it's more geared towards towing and torque and all that, which is great for these mountains. You got a lot of steep grades, and it doesn't help you're in thin altitude, or thin air, excuse me, high altitude thin air. Go ahead and get this old trusty second gen turned around. Go up here and turn into this overlook up here on the left, and head back east. About the same fastest way to do it. If I went and just made a left turn out onto the road, you got people coming up this corner here. Like this big rig coming up around the corner, moving. Last thing you need to do is surprise them by being in the middle of the road. We're back in. We're in 4-wheel now. I have to manually engage the front axle. I put in the cable lock setup because the vacuum setup that comes on these trucks factory, over time the vacuum lines become crap. They don't work as well, so it doesn't engage when you want it. And also a big plus was with having the cable lock setup is when I'm up in these mountains with the trailer, when I have good traction, I don't need 4-wheel drive. Sometimes I'm on a steep grade going to take off, and it's nice to be able to put the transfer case into 4 low, but technically I'm in 2 low because I don't have the front wheels engaged. Which helps a lot when you're on a 7-8% grade in a 2500 pickup with the 5-speed trying to get going when your overall weight's a little over 20,000 pounds. So it's a big plus to have that option. And it also helps when backing up too, because these trucks, you put them in reverse, you go to back a trailer up, they want to take off, which is hard because you got to ride the clutch and everything, do this and that. So if you're able to disengage the front wheels but put the transfer case, put the T case in low, it makes it a lot easier to reverse and back up your trailer because you have a lot more control. You're not having to constantly push the clutch in and out and do all that. You just basically leave it in and creep and get your trailer where you need it. We're gonna get headed back east here, take a right at Pine Junction and head towards Buffalo Creek, go check out this range. Get out of 4-wheel drive first though. Not the best place to pull out of. I hate that spot because the speed limit coming up that hill, the other side, is 65 mile an hour there at the top. And there are trucks. When I say trucks, I'm talking about 18-wheelers, big rigs, tractor trailers, whatever you want to put. There's trucks that come up that hill doing 65, 70. They may not be fully loaded, but a lot of them aren't empty either. And even if they are empty, they still carry a lot of weight. And that's just a bad spot to be pulling out of. So, something you always got to be cognizant of up here in the mountains when you're driving around. You don't want to be that guy that pulls out in front of somebody and causes an accident. Or gets yourself killed. Look at that. Jeffco hiring jobs. Jefferson County. Road and bridge. Fuck, hair everywhere. Thanks, dog. Thank you. What? I don't want to hear it. No. Not happening. Not yet. We're on the side of the road, dude. We gotta go that way a little bit, and then we can. All right. Shake on it. Yeah. Oh, shake on it. Yeah, shake on it. Cool. I was able to send a couple messages, post something. Now I'm gonna get my butt back headed south. That way. I gotta turn around, hit that road, go that way. It should take me towards Buffalo Creek, and all basically towards Deckers, if you would. Go cruise that road, go check out that range, and let the mud out a little bit. I know he needs it. He's been whining. Right up here on the rack. Whoa, I did not rep match that one very good. Well then, I see somebody up here. So this is a place I've come up to for years. When I first started coming up here, it wasn't managed that much. It's managed a lot more now, which is nice because it helps cut down on the people that come up here and trash it. Now, I'm pretty sure you're supposed to be shooting here to the left into the backstop, and you'll see when you get up here, sometimes you'll have people shooting to the right, and that isn't the right answer. The right answer is to be shooting to the left up here. You have a big backstop, you don't have to worry about your rounds going something really weird. Now the right, yeah, it's kind of uphill and there's a bunch of trees and stuff, but that's not the shooting range. The shooting range is up here to the left. Now this is Kelsey Creek shooting range. It's marked, I have to check on Google Maps how it's marked, but it's just north, or excuse me, just south of Buffalo Creek. And when you come up to these ranges, it's always good to use proper etiquette and all that. And there's probably a lot of videos out there on it. I plan on making some videos on it, but today I'm not. I'm just going to come up here and shoot a couple things, have some fun, and then boogie on back down the hill. I didn't even bring any targets, so I'm just going to be shooting to the hillside. A lot of fun there, but I'll get to throw some out my 40. I haven't shot it much at all. I'll show you my Kel-Tec. I've got a Palmetto Arms AR-15, and that's all I brought with me today. Oh, I brought my Smith & Wesson 357 too, but I didn't bring any 357 rounds. I just brought 38 special rounds. So head up in here, get set up, and shoot some rounds off. See where my camera's pointed at right now. This is to the north, and this is where you're not supposed to shoot at. That is not a shooting range out here. I've been up here, last time I was up here was in 2019 for a bachelor's party, and it was a few of us, but this place was packed, and you had people shooting out here to the north while the range was supposed to be cold. You had people here to the south behind me going down range to set up targets and do their thing. Now, that's the problem out here, is you have people come up here that don't know range etiquette and just go shooting willy-nilly. It's not safe, you know. And if you know better, tactfully educate some of these people that are out here if you can, making the wrong decisions. Because the more people that come out here and shoot the wrong way are likely to have, let's just put it this way, the people that come up here and abuse these ranges, they risk taking away from those that come up here and respect it. These ranges are a privilege, and it's nice to come up here and have somewhere outdoors to shoot year round. It's great to get away from the city. Shooting indoors, shooting indoors kind of sucks. Yeah, you can go practice some stuff indoors and do what you do, but outdoors is where it's at.
Like you still see all the cars parked out front of the garage. Yeah, I should have reached out to you last week. I thought.
Well, just leaving the range. I'm glad I came up here. The road was clear coming in. Met some people. They're probably gonna maybe check out this video. See if I can remember all their names. I met John and Ashley. They're up here first. They're actually up here shooting some steel targets, which is awesome because I didn't bring any targets. Kind of a spur of a moment trip. Then I just met Alec, Brandon, and Blake. So as I'm driving back home, I thought I'd take the time to tell you guys about one of my project trucks. I bought this truck in 2006 from my dad. It's a 96 Chevy Silverado, half-ton, four-wheel drive, an extended cab. My dad was the second owner of the truck. A good friend of his was the first owner of the truck. In 2015, I decided to put a Chummins in it. The donor truck I ended up getting was a 98.5 Ram. So I ended up being stuck with the 24 valve. I took the engine, transmission, transfer case, both axles, everything. Put it all under the Chevy. This truck, you've seen it in my Mile High Redneck trailer that's on the channel, doing a couple burnouts. It's been a project. I spent an entire year working on it. I probably put about a couple thousand miles on the truck, but there's still a lot of things that need to be done. But as far as the nitty-gritty on it, it's just a Chevy swapped Cummins, hence the name Chummins. And as far as the lift on it, it looks like it has lift. Well, when building the suspension, I set the ride height a lot higher, and being the dummy I am, I forgot to measure the original ride height. But judging off of other trucks and old pictures, the truck's sitting probably about at least 6 inches higher than it was. The tires that you'll see on it in the pictures I'm showing you are 34-inch tires. And me personally, I like the way the stance came out and all that. I still have some work to do on my suspension for the front. I don't like the way I have the control arm set up. As far as that front suspension is concerned though, it's a dual triangulated or double triangulated 4-link. There is no panhard bar on it, and there is no sway bar on the truck either. I used the coil springs from the donor truck along with the purchase for the front springs. And I'm regretting using the front axle from the donor truck because those Dana 60s that are under those Dodges with that center axle disconnect, same axle that's in this tow pig of mine, the Silver Fox. They're not good for off-road and power. I'd love to be able to get out to a couple out-of-state events, and one event I'd really love to get to is Cletus and Cars. Now, some of you guys know who Cletus McFarland is. He's another YouTuber. He's been in it a while, over 5 years, and those guys know how to have fun. They drag race, they drift, and at his events there's a big burnout box where you can go in there and just melt some tires. They have usually a drag strip, right? So their first Cletus and Cars event that I can go to is in May, and it's out in Indianapolis at the Lucas Motor Oil Speedway, and they have a drag strip and an oval out there. And I can't for sure make it to that event, but I'm gonna try. And that Chummins, I'd love to have it in much better shape than it is now. Because right now it's just stock. It's a 98.5 24 valve, 5.9 Cummins with the VP44. Has the stock lift pump on it. I gotta start there. And short term, I'm thinking about just throwing a tuner on it and throwing some nitrous to it.